Indre, what was the opening or the opportunity that you saw for Paravel?
So we really thought of Paravel having an opportunity to carve out a new market, so to speak. We talk about it as a trav-leisure market, which is taking sort of a lot of the lessons learned from the athleisure space, which became an $80 billion market, and applying some of those lessons to the travel good space. So really, when you think about travel, people are on the go all the time. The experience economy is booming, and people want versatile product that reflects how they're living their lives and how they're traveling. And we really wanted to build product that reflected travel in the everyday experience. So it's your commute into work, it's your weekend trip, it's the quick overnight work trip. And so instead of thinking about travel goods and luggage purely as the product that's a means to an end that you leave in your storage unit or experience on the luggage carousel, that really it's the product that lives with you and alongside you on a day-to-day basis.
Very interesting. You identified a lot of markets there. So therefore, how are your products different?
Yeah, so we have a lot of our products are really rooted in the sort of day-to-day experience. So we have products that help you stay organized, but they can also be used as gym bags, as everyday bags, as work bags. We have products that sort of are great for storage, and they are very compact, and they zip down into little pouches, but open up to become a backpack or a duffel or a wash kit. And then we have sort of bags that are designed for to be your +1 bag going to the airport, but can serve just as well as your gym bag. And for us, really, there are 3 core tenets for our brand that when we think about sort of bringing a product to market, and that's quality, design, and price. And so we really believe that when a consumer is choosing travel goods, they shouldn't be compromising on any of those. And we set out to really allow them to have all those 3 things.
And that's what successful new businesses are doing. How do you not compromise on quality and still have a fair price?
So probably starts with being obsessive over quality. I came from a career in fashion and design, and my co-founder and I spent 18 months in development before launching the brand, and we're completely obsessed with product. We love product. We love creating beautiful product, and so we sit over each prototype and sort of go through every stitch to make sure that it is impeccable. And you don't have to pay a lot to get beautiful product. You have to care. The people who are creating the product really need to care, and I'd say we have that in spades.
That's a great line. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody exactly put it that way. You don't necessarily have to pay a lot for quality. You have to care a lot.
Right.
So then the issue becomes managing and making certain that it happens and staying on top of things, right? You care a lot.
Yes.
How did you come up with so many different products in just the 2 or 3 years that the business has existed? It sounds like you have a dozen or well more than a dozen different bags.
Yes, well, it's more. I have a lot more coming too. So there's never a shortage of ideas. We listen to our customers a lot in terms of what they want. We iterate on our product. We ask our customers for their feedback and their input, and a lot of it also comes from personal pain points. So both my co-founder and I are avid travelers, both for professional and personal reasons throughout our life, and found there was a certain product that was really missing, but above all, there was a system missing. So you would pull a certain product from one brand, a certain product for another, to put together a system that had a semblance of sort of control in your travel accessories and
travel. What do you mean a system was missing? Oh, a system for the customer.
A system for the customer, exactly, of product. You had to really put together a system piecemeal. So maybe a suitcase from one brand, a duffel from another, a +1 bag from here, maybe Ziploc bags to put your cosmetics in. Right. And really, we wanted to be a one-stop shop for travelers who could come and really be able to find the gamut of what they're looking for and put together a system that works together.
So now you're not going to show up with all this mismatched, right, odd-shaped luggage. That's the problem that it solves.
And it's not only sort of the shapes and the design, but it's also things that are meant to work together to optimize for space, to keep sort of things organized. We have packing cubes, for example, where they compress and organize everything that you're packing, and those fit perfectly into other bags that we sell. So they all work together.
Are you selling in stores or online or both?
So right now we have a few partners, primarily right now Net-a-Porter as a wholesale partner, but our main channel, we're omni-channel, but our primary channel is direct to consumer. That is the crux of our business.
And how do customers find you? Do you do Google AdWords, or how's the marketing go?
Yeah, so we market through Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google, but we have a very strong customer base that sort of has subscribed to our email list, and they love sort of following us, and we talk to them through our organic Instagram feed, through our emails, and so that's really where we have the majority of our conversation with our customer. But in terms of acquisition, paid social is a big one.
When I just as a normal guy, look at your website, I see that the bags, they're beautiful. It's beautiful luggage.
Thank you.
But tell me why. How did you make that happen? How did you get that response from the potential customer?
You know, it all started with the theory that luggage doesn't have to look like luggage. A lot of times when you see people going through the airport, they have made sort of a thoughtful branded purchase around a lot of other things. So even if it's their Swell water bottle or their headphones or their denim or whatever it may be, it's not about sort of high or low pricing. It's that brand speaks to them in a certain way. And we wanted our luggage and our travel accessories to have to create the same affinity with the customer, so that they'd be proud to carry it, that it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg to be beautiful, but that it's something that resonates with our customer. And so the design process is really something that is just innately coming from where I see sort of opportunities to create product that is functional, lightweight, has a lot of thoughtful sort of design elements like pockets and storage space, but all that doesn't preclude it from also being beautifully designed. So
I guess as I think about it, my impression in looking at your website as you describe it was that your luggage would make you look very organized, even if maybe you weren't, but at least it looks very organized.
Yes, it makes you feel organized, I think. And there's also there's element of organization and design, but there's also an element of encouraging our customers and allowing them to be adventurous and spontaneous, and really allowing them to have those human connections in travel. We really believe travel is an important element outside of sort of the bags that we provide them with. We really believe that travel is an important experience and try to sort of support that in any way we can.
Now, some travel-related companies I've talked to will have blogs and posts about people's trips and everything. Do you keep it to the product only, or are you branching out into travel stories and everything else?
So we do tell stories.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones that we actually just posted on a blog recently was about 4 mothers who wrote in to tell us this story. They're in Jackson Hole. They got stuck in a wild blizzard this winter, and they decided that they were sort of trapped in a cabin and they were going to ski home to their families. And they decided to take a risk and ski 14 miles home through a Jackson Hole blizzard. And the only bag they had to keep all their things safe and dry was a Paravel duffel, a nylon one that they wore as a backpack. And so we have the pictures and everything. We told that story, we interviewed them, and we wanted to hear about their experience as mothers, as adventurers, as women, but also just sort of as travelers who used our product to keep them all their sort of important things safe and dry in a very adventurous moment. So those sort of moments are the ones that really get me excited every morning to wake up and keep charging forward, because in some way we're making people's experience better.
And that makes good content on the website. Yeah, you and your business partner had worked together at a fashion company, I believe you said.
That's where we met.
So many of the people whose businesses are growing fast now have worked in a similar industry at a big company and have gone off and started their own. I bet you know a lot of people, other people who've done the same thing. Do you, or maybe not?
I do. I
Seems
think
common.
you know, it's a very entrepreneurial moment, which is wonderful. I think a lot of people are seeing opportunity and seizing it, which is great for our economy, and it's sort of great for as consumers to have the benefit of the product they're creating. So I came from a traditional fashion background, but I also had an MBA from Stanford. So for me, it was the combination of sort of the sort of business side and the creative side that was interesting sort of in pursuing entrepreneurship.
What also strikes me in the current economy is that there seem to be endless niches. Where there used to be a small number of broad niches, every new company just seems to come up with a new niche that's working pretty well. Does it seem almost endless to you?
I think it's the ability to communicate with the consumers in a very targeted manner, and I think that's what's allowing for that. And I think that because of the way that you can sort of find your customers and they can find you, you can be specific with sort of exactly what a certain customer base needs, and you can take their feedback in a very direct way. In sort of traditional retail, there were middlemen that in a way sort of blocked some of that conversation. So it was harder to find your target customer, and it was harder for them to sort of come back to you with feedback. And so now that with the direct conversation going, it's a lot easier.
And my last question from someone who's spent a career in the fashion industry, do you have any advice for people in cultivating a greater sense of style and fashion, NJ?
So I think style is something that comes from within each person. I think it's something that is it's never something that should be dictated from someone else to a person. I think that we're at a wonderful point in time where there are so many conversations happening about what style is and what it means to each individual, and there's sort of a broader community embracing the diversity of style that we're living through, and it's no longer a hierarchical system where it's sort of one sense of style is considered the correct sense, and that's being sort of trickled down. Now it's sort of something that people are their own voice and their own advocate for their own sense of style, and I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. All opportunities in business and style and everything that are helping to keep the economy growing and strong. It's great to meet you, Andre.
Thank you so much.
Thank
so
you
nice
very
to
much.
meet you.
Thank you.